Hello, I'm Ganesh, a schizophrenia patient. I saw my image in a mirror morph into someone else. I saw the outline of a huge, godlike hand give me the one finger salute. I saw a glowing footprint of Neil Armstrong's first step on the moon. I was afflicted with schizophrenia in my late teens. I went through the entire cycle of disability, and over a 3 year sabbatical, I was able to cope with the condition. I want to share the concept that helped me. Hopefully, they can be of help to others. My goal is to help the greatest number to the greatest feasible degree. Schizophrenia appears to be a mental manifestation of a physical condition. The body of knowledge on the condition split the symptoms of schizophrenia into two classes: positive and negative symptoms. Positive symptoms are hallucinations and delusions, and negative symptoms refer to a lack of characteristics generally found in normal people, characteristics like motivation, social mingling, sharp emotions, ability to carry on a conversation. Both positive and negative symptoms need to be addressed for effective treatment of the condition. Usually, the negative symptoms cannot be addressed without tackling the positive symptoms first. Medication aims at first bringing the positive symptoms down to a manageable level. Counseling is often an important supplement. Professionals also highlight the importance of family support and the need for caregivers to have patience. Negative symptoms can manifest in even normal individuals. We all know people who don't mix readily with others, people who are the silent types, as well as people who don't display emotions to suit the situation. Additionally, many individuals afflicted with the condition tend to have had a tough past. Something was done to them, or they did something and it now holds them hostage in the present. To function well socially, forgiving the past, building social skills, and developing confidence is required. There are three main heads under which I have understood the condition: positive and negative symptoms, and how to cope with medication. There are a fortunate few for whom the medication acts bang on target to completely eliminate positive symptoms. But for the rest of us, we may need to understand that even when positive symptoms are present, they can be brought down to a manageable level so we can function in society. Positive symptoms need to be managed, not conquered. The negative symptoms are things like lack of motivation, for which, as I said before, even normal people sometimes seek counseling. One important thing in building social confidence is to stop the blame game and take control of our self-esteem. It helps to dealing from any need to be superior to feel accomplished. Lastly, today's medicine is very different from the time I became afflicted. The side effects of modern medicines are not too severe. Of course, the dosages need to be carefully titrated. I will elaborate on what I feel are my key insights in regard to these three things: positive symptoms, negative symptoms, and medication. First, let's look at positive symptoms. Since the manifestations of positive symptoms are inexplicable, we patients are usually puzzled and try to figure out what is real and what is not. This is not required. We must avoid trying to figure out if the manifestations like auditory hallucinations are actually happening. For example, we need not consider that the auditory hallucinations are factual in some other space or time. We need to understand instead that they cannot help us fit into the here and now. Hence, outlook number one to adopt: don't debate if the symptoms are true or not, but merely understand that accepting them as fact will not help us patients live productively in society. Furthermore, positive symptoms also force a disconnection from reality the minute we try to take them literally. Therefore, outlook number two: hallucinations and delusions are not to be taken literally, and we must instead view them as metaphors, guiding us to rectify some latent, innately damaging disposition. For example, if we perceive a hallucination to harm ourselves or someone else, we should interpret this to just mean we are unforgiving deep down, and find ways to forgive instead. Next, we must treat hallucinations and other disorienters as inert signals which need to be ignored. Symptoms like hallucinations have no inherent causative power in themselves. They can only have the power that we sanction to them. Therefore, we should not attribute anything to them, but brush them away and focus back into a reality that is contextual and in the immediate time and space. Another set of outlooks that help in lessening the impact of negative symptoms are shared here. These outlooks are not just for people with the condition, but the normal others too. First, make a clean break from the past and go from being a victim with feelings of resentment and guilt to being a survivor who can proactively build the future. Many patients, or anyone else for that matter, generally lack an impeccable past. Things haunt us. The faux pas, the compromises, or sometimes even the downright immorality. This is a heavy burden if we have not accepted our past and have not decided to move on. We need to go from being a victim of the past to a survivor with a brand new future. It's possible to do this if we begin with willingness, the willingness to change. Secondly, dealing from the need to be superior in order to feel accomplished. Everyone has some shortcomings, but each one of us is unique too. We are absolute facts in this creation. We are a collection of atoms that never was and never will be again. We must delink our self-esteem from others by understanding that we are our own unique niche, as are others. Another thing, we must try and drop anxieties about our tomorrows and come to understand that things get better in some manner or the other. Easier said than done, but if we intellectually understand that anxiety in no way dictates outcomes and focus instead on creating value in some manner or another, we will see gain in some manner or another. With regards to medication, I am not second guessing the psychiatrist here, but I still propose tentatively the following outlook. If high dosages are deployed unendingly just to be totally symptom-free or because they make the patient docile and manageable, they may impair the return to a normal personal social life. In our quest to be symptom-free, there is no point in increasing the dosage to the point of stupor. We can instead manage the symptoms as already suggested. Stress may make the symptoms fluctuate. However, we must aim for a sense of relative wellness that endures longer and to a greater degree. Moreover, many of today's medicines act quite rapidly. There is no need to keep trying the same old medicines to the point of stupor for months on end. Also, in my experience, if the condition does not improve or even if it remains unmanageably the same, despite 4 to 6 weeks of medication, a change in prescription may be needed. Please do provide regular feedback to your caregivers or medical professionals. I suggest adopting these aids that have helped me. Learning how to manage feelings of fear, using history writing and other memory interference techniques to propel me out of my problematic past, getting over deep-seated heartbreak and grief by forgiving fate and trusting time to heal, overcoming damaging thinking using techniques such as cognitive behavior therapy, becoming caring and compassionate towards others, and more importantly, oneself. What has worked for me may not necessarily work for you. However, a little research on the internet and some trials with promising techniques should help you find, for your use, the appropriate beneficial tools. I found the first step, the willingness to accept where I was and commit to change, to be the most difficult. Accept what you are today and that you can improve. Be willing to change. Forget about questioning what brought you here and focus on what you can become. Subscribe to getting better in some manner or another, one step at a time. Throw out the fear of making a new beginning. Don't be afraid to fly. And if all else fails, adopt the 5-minute promise. This means give whatever task is required to be done 5 minutes of focused effort. If the task does not pull you into doing it, despite an established need to carry on, you may need professional help. I have authored a book, I, Me and Us, Insights of an Ex-Schizophrenic, in which I share the ideas that continue to help me manage my condition. These insights, I believe, can reorient the vulnerable and help the conventionally normal others too. I, Me and Us offers ideas that help create, discover, or unleash a personal sense of sanity, success, and wellness for both afflicted and the normal. I wish you enduring wellness. Thank you.